Welcome to the most exciting coin discovery of your life. Today, we're diving into the mysterious and ultra-rare bicentennial coins, an ordinary-looking coin with the power to make you a millionaire overnight. If you've got this hidden gem in your pocket, your entire future could change in an instant. Let's unlock the secrets behind this legendary piece of treasure. First up, the story of the 1943 United States 5-cent coin begins in one of the most intense periods in American history, the height of World War II. In that year, the United States was fully mobilized for war, and every metal resource was considered strategic. Copper and nickel, essential components of everyday coinage, were desperately needed for ammunition and military equipment. This urgency led to a dramatic shift in coin production, and while the penny famously changed to steel, the 5-cent coin quietly underwent its own transformation. What makes the 1943 5-cent piece extraordinary is not just its wartime composition, but the hidden rarities, minting anomalies, and survival stories that have turned some of these humble coins into highly desirable collectibles. The coin in question belongs to the iconic Jefferson nickel series, designed by the German-American sculptor Felix Schlag. First introduced in 1938, the Jefferson nickel replaced the Buffalo nickel and brought a more refined, neoclassical aesthetic to American coinage. By 1943, however, its composition had changed dramatically to a wartime alloy of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. This war nickel is easily identified by the large mint mark placed above Monticello on the reverse, an unusual feature for US coins at the time, signaling its special status and composition. The design itself carries a quiet dignity. On the obverse, Thomas Jefferson's profile faces left, a symbol of intellectual strength and democratic ideals. The reverse features his Virginia estate, Monticello, rendered with architectural precision. In 1943, these coins were struck at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with mint marks P, D, and S prominently displayed above the building. While millions were produced, over 271 million across all mints, the high mintage alone does not guarantee availability in top condition today. In fact, many of these coins entered circulation immediately and endured heavy use during wartime, leading to a significant reduction in high-grade survivors. This is where the concept of survival rate becomes crucial. Although hundreds of millions were minted, far fewer remain today in collectible condition, especially those with sharp details and minimal wear. Coins described as scratched and toned, like the one in focus, often fall into the circulated category, but even these can hold surprising value if they exhibit rare characteristics. Natural toning, especially from the silver content, can produce beautiful hues of blue, gold, and violet, which collectors often prize, provided the toning is original and not artificially induced. Strike quality is another key factor. Wartime production placed enormous stress on minting equipment, leading to weaker strikes and more frequent die deterioration. As a result, well-struck 1943 nickels with full steps on Monticello, known as full-step specimens, are particularly valuable. These coins show complete detail in the steps of the building, a feature often lost due to worn dies or insufficient adductor during striking. Even in circulated grades, a coin with unusually sharp detail can stand out in the market. Varieties and errors add another layer of intrigue. In 1943, several double die varieties have been identified, where the design appears slightly duplicated due to misalignment during the hubbing process. Repunched mint marks are also known, especially from the Denver and San Francisco mints, where mint marks were manually added to dies and occasionally punched more than once. Die cracks, off-center strikes, and planchette flaws are not uncommon, and while many are minor, dramatic examples can significantly increase a coin's desirability. These errors occurred due to the intense adductor on minting operations during wartime, where speed often took precedence over perfection. Understanding how these errors occur helps explain their rarity. During die creation, a master hub impresses the design onto a die. If the die shifts slightly between impressions, a doubled image can result. Mint marks, added by hand at the time, could be misaligned or struck multiple times. Wartime Verrufen also led to increased die wear, resulting in cracks and darfen in the final strike. These imperfections, once seen as flaws, are now prized by collectors as unique fingerprints of the minting process. Market values for 1943 Jefferson nickels vary widely depending on condition and variety. A heavily circulated example in fine condition may be worth only a few dollars, largely due to its silver content. In very fine to about uncirculated grades, values can range from $5 to $20, depending on eye appeal and toning. However, coins with rare varieties or exceptional strike quality can command much higher prices. A mint state example with full steps can reach into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One notable auction saw a 1943p Jefferson nickel with full steps and exceptional luster sell for over $1,000, driven by its rarity and condition. Registry set competition has also played a significant role in driving prices. Collectors who build complete sets of Jefferson nickels often seek the finest known examples, especially those certified by professional grading services. These registry sets are ranked, and top positions can bring prestige within the numismatic community. As a result, high-grade coins with rare attributes become fiercely contested, pushing prices well beyond typical market levels. Provenance, or the coin's ownership history, can further enhance its appeal, especially if it has been part of a collection. In the end, the 1943 5-cent coin stands as a powerful reminder that even the smallest pieces of currency can carry immense historical and monetary value.
What appears to be a worn, scratched, and torn nickel may, under closer inspection, reveal a rare variety, a strong strike, or a beautiful Prakritik patina that sets it apart.
It is this blend of history, craftsmanship, and chance that transforms an ordinary coin into an extraordinary collectible, one that continues to captivate collectors and historians alike. Beyond the measurable traits of grade and rarity, there is also a powerful emotional and historical weight carried by a 1943 wartime nickel. Each coin from this year circulated during a period when Americans were rationing food, conserving materials, and contributing to the war effort in every possible way. Holding one today is like holding a small artifact of World War II, a coin that may have passed through the hands of soldiers, factory workers, or families supporting loved ones overseas. This human connection adds a layer of intangible value that cannot be captured in price guides, yet it plays a significant role in why collectors continue to seek out these coins, even in worn or imperfect condition. Ultimately, what makes a scratched and toned 1943 5-cent coin extraordinary is not perfection, but possibility.
It represents the idea that rarity can hide in plain sight, and that even circulated coins can carry premiums when they possess unique qualities like scarce die varieties, strong surviving detail, or Akarshak original toning.
In today's market, collectors are increasingly drawn to coins that tell a story rather than simply display technical excellence.
As a result, the 1943 Jefferson nickel remains a fascinating and dynamic collectible, one where careful nirikshan, historical understanding, and a bit of luck can turn an ordinary-looking coin into a standout piece in any collection.
Second, the story of the 1944 United States 5-cent coin unfolds during the final phase of World War II, when the nation's power was at its peak and every resource was carefully managed. By 1944, American factories were producing ships, aircraft, and ammunition at unprecedented levels, and even the smallest everyday objects, like coins, were shaped by wartime necessity. The 5-cent coin, often overlooked in daily commerce, became part of this larger narrative through its unique metal composition and accelerated production. Yet hidden within millions of these coins are rare examples that have quietly become some of the most sought-after treasures in the numismatic world. This coin belongs to the long-running Jefferson nickel series, a design that symbolized stability during uncertain times. Created by Felix Schlag, the coin features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his historic home, Monticello, on the reverse. In 1944, the coin continued to use the wartime alloy introduced in 1942, consisting of silver, copper, and manganese. This composition not only conserved nickel for military use but also gave the coins a distinct appearance and aging pattern, especially noticeable in pieces that have developed natural toning over decades. The design itself is deceptively simple but rich in detail. Jefferson's profile reflects Enlightenment ideals and intellectual leadership, while Monticello stands as a symbol of American architectural and philosophical heritage. On 1944 nickels, the large mint mark, P, D, or S, appears prominently above Monticello, a feature unique to wartime issues. This bold placement was intended to distinguish the silver alloy coins from standard issues, but today it also serves as a focal point for collectors searching for subtle variations and errors within the series. In terms of production, the 1944 Jefferson nickel was struck in massive numbers, with over 119 million from Philadelphia, 32 million from Denver, and 21 million from San Francisco. At first glance, such high mintage figures might suggest that these coins are common and easily obtainable. However, mintage alone does not define rarity. The lies in how many coins survived in collectible condition. Years of circulation, handling, and environmental exposure significantly reduce the number of well-preserved examples, especially those with strong details and minimal damage. Survival rate becomes even more critical when evaluating a scratched and toned specimen. While many 1,944 nickels show signs of wear, only a fraction retain original surfaces and toning. The silver content often reacts with the environment to produce hues, subtle blues, tones, and even deep purples, that can enhance a coin's visual appeal if left undisturbed. However, cleaning or improper storage can destroy this originality, leaving behind dull or surfaces that reduce collector interest and market value. Strike quality in 1944 also plays a major role in determining value. Wartime adughthu on the US Mint led to rapid die wear and inconsistent strikes, meaning that fully detailed coins are far less common than the mintage numbers suggest. Collectors particularly value examples with full steps on Monticello, where the staircase beneath the building is sharply defined. Achieving this level of detail required optimal die condition and proper striking pressure, conditions that were not always met during high-speed wartime production. As a result, full steps coins from 1944 can command significant premiums, even when compared to other mint state examples. Varieties and minting errors further elevate the importance of this issue. Known double die obverses from 1944 exhibit noticeable doubling in the lettering and date, caused by slight misalignment during the hubbing process. Repunched mint marks are also documented, especially from the Denver and San Francisco facilities, where mint marks were manually punched into dies and sometimes applied more than once. Additionally, collectors have identified die cracks, off-center strikes, and clipped planchets, all of which originated from the intense operational demands placed on minting during wartime. These errors, once considered defects, are now prized for their uniqueness and historical significance. Understanding how these anomalies occur adds depth to their appeal. During die creation, a working die is impressed multiple times by a master hub. If the alignment shifts even slightly, the resulting design can appear doubled. Mint marks, applied by hand before 1990, were especially prone to misplacement or repetition. Combined with wartime die fatigue, these factors created where small inconsistencies became permanent features on the coins. For collectors, these imperfections are not flaws, but evidence of the under which the coins were produced. When it comes to market value, a 1944 Jefferson nickel in scratched and toned condition typically falls within the circulated range, often valued between a few dollars and around $15 depending on detail and eye appeal. However, coins with confirmed varieties or exceptional toning can exceed these ranges significantly. In about uncirculated condition, values may rise to $20 to $50, while mint state examples, especially those with full steps, can reach hundreds or even over $1,000 in high grades. One notable auction result featured a 1944 D Jefferson nickel with full steps selling for several $1,000s, driven by its as one of the finest known examples and intense competition among registry set collectors. Registry set competition has become a powerful force in modern numismatics. Collectors strive to assemble the highest graded sets of coins, often certified by professional grading services, and these sets are ranked in public databases. A single top population coin can dramatically improve a collector's ranking, leading to fierce bidding when such pieces appear at auction. Provenance, eye appeal, and rarity all contribute to these elevated prices, transforming certain 1944 nickels into elite collectibles despite their humble origins. In the end, the 1944 5-cent coin proves that extraordinary value can emerge from ordinary beginnings. Even a scratched and toned example holds the potential to reveal hidden rarity, whether through a sub as collectors dig deeper into the 1944 issue. One of the most fascinating realities is how often truly valuable coins are overlooked simply because they show wear. A scratched surface or muted luster can easily cause a coin to be dismissed as ordinary, yet within the world of Jefferson nickels, some of the most important discoveries have come from circulated examples. A lightly worn coin with a rare doubled die, a repunched mint mark, or an unusual strike anomaly can command far more attention than a flawless but common piece. This is especially true for wartime issues, where the of World War II created inconsistencies that today serve as markers of rarity. It's this unpredictability that keeps both new and experienced collectors constantly searching, knowing that value is not always tied to perfection. In the broader perspective of numismatics, the 1944 5-cent coin stands as a powerful example of how context transforms value. Its connection to wartime production, its distinctive silver-based composition, and the wide range of striking variations all contribute to its lasting appeal. For collectors, the excitement lies not just in owning a high-grade specimen, but in understanding the story behind each coin, how it was made, how it survived, and what sets it apart. Even a modest, toned example can hold significance far beyond its face value, reminding us that in the world of coin collecting, rarity often hides beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered through patience, knowledge, and careful observation till variety, a strong strike, or beautiful toning. It is this combination of history, craftsmanship, and chance that keeps collectors searching through old coins, hoping to uncover something remarkable. What was once a simple piece of wartime currency now stands as a testament to resilience, scarcity, and the enduring fascination of numismatics. Third, the story of the 1945 United States 5-cent coin begins at a historic turning point. As World War II finally approached in that year, the United States stood on the brink of victory, with production still operating at full capacity to support the stages of the war effort. Every material remained precious, and the coinage system continued to reflect these wartime priorities. The 1945 5-cent coin, often referred to as a war nickel, carries within it the legacy of sacrifice and urgency. Yet beneath its worn surfaces and toned appearance, certain rare examples have emerged as remarkable collectibles, commanding attention far beyond their modest face value. This coin is part of the enduring Jefferson Nickel series, designed by Felix Schlag. Introduced in 1938, the series replaced the Buffalo nickel and brought a more structured, classical style to American coinage. By 1945, the design remained unchanged, but the composition had shifted to accommodate wartime needs, consisting of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. This unique alloy not only preserved critical nickel supplies but also gave these coins an aging pattern, often resulting in toning that can enhance their appeal when preserved naturally. The visual design of the coin reflects both simplicity and symbolic depth. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, representing intellect and democratic ideals, while the reverse showcases Monticello, his iconic estate. In 1945, the large mint mark, P, D, or S, was placed above Monticello, a distinctive feature of wartime nickels that immediately sets them apart from other issues. This bold mint mark placement has become a key area of focus for collectors, especially when examining coins for subtle variations or minting anomalies that may increase their value. Production numbers for the 1945 Jefferson nickel were substantial, with approximately 119 million struck in Philadelphia, 37 million in Denver, and 58 million in San Francisco. At first glance, these figures suggest that the coin is common. However, mintage alone does not determine rarity. The factor is how many coins have survived in collectible condition. Years of heavy circulation, combined with wartime handling and environmental exposure, have significantly reduced the number of well-preserved examples, particularly those with sharp details and original surfaces. For a scratched and toned 1945 nickel, the concept of survival rate becomes even more critical. While many coins from this year show signs of wear, only a small percentage retain natural toning and undisturbed surfaces. The silver content in these coins often reacts with the environment, producing hues of gold and violet. When this toning is and evenly distributed, it can enhance the coin's desirability. However, improper cleaning or artificial toning can severely diminish its value, making originality one of the most important factors in determining market appeal. Strike quality is another defining element of value for 1945 nickels. Due to the intense demand for coin production during the war, dies were often used beyond their optimal lifespan, resulting in weaker strikes and a color detail. Collectors pay special attention to full steps examples, where the steps of Monticello are sharply defined and uninterrupted. These coins are significantly rarer than standard issues, as achieving such detail required fresh dies and precise striking conditions. Even in circulated grades, a coin with unusually strong detail can stand out and attract premium interest. Varieties and minting errors add a fascinating layer of complexity to the 1945 issue. Double die obverses, where the date or lettering appears duplicated, are among the most sought-after varieties. Repunched mint marks are also known, especially from the Denver and San Francisco mints, where mint marks were manually applied and occasionally struck more than once. Additional errors such as die cracks, off-center strikes, and clipped planchets can be found, each offering a glimpse into the challenging of wartime minting. These anomalies, once considered, are now highly collectible features that can dramatically increase a coin's value. The process behind these errors reveals the element in coin production. During die creation, a working die is impressed multiple times by a master hub. Any slight misalignment during this process can result in doubling. Mint marks, added by hand in this era, were particularly susceptible to misplacement or repetition. Combined with the stress placed on minting equipment during World War II, these factors created an environment where small imperfections became permanent characteristics. For collectors, these features represent authenticity and historical context rather than. In terms of market value, a 1945 Jefferson nickel in scratched and toned condition typically falls within a modest range, often between $2 and $15 in lower circulated grades, depending on detail and eye appeal. In very fine to about uncirculated condition, values may rise to $20 to $60. However, coins with confirmed varieties or exceptional strike quality can command significantly higher prices. Mint state examples with full steps can reach into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. A notable auction result saw a high-grade 1945S full steps nickel sell for several $1,000s, driven by its rarity, preservation, and strong demand among advanced collectors. Registry set competition has further elevated the of top-quality 1945 nickels. Collectors competing for the highest-ranked sets often seek the finest known examples, particularly those certified by professional grading services. These coins are not only valued for their technical grade but also for their eye appeal, rarity, and provenance. When a top population coin becomes available, intense bidding can occur, pushing prices far beyond typical market levels. This competitive environment has transformed certain 1945 nickels into elite collectibles, owing to their humble origins. In the end, the 1945 5-cent coin stands as a powerful reminder that even the smallest pieces of currency can hold extraordinary value under the right circumstances. A scratched and toned example may appear ordinary at first glance, but with careful examination, it can reveal hidden rarity, historical significance, and unique characteristics that set it apart. It is this combination of history, craftsmanship, and chance that continues to captivate collectors, proving that within the world of numismatics, even the most modest coin can become a remarkable treasure. What makes the 1945 issue even more compelling is how often the most valuable discoveries come from coins that appear completely ordinary at first glance. A scratched and toned surface might suggest heavy circulation and little importance, yet experienced collectors know that these visual flaws can sometimes hide extraordinary beneath. A subtle doubled die, a faint repunched mint mark, or an unusually sharp strike can transform a common-looking coin into a sought-after rarity. This is especially true for wartime coinage, where the of World War II introduced inconsistencies that today define collectible value. It's this element of surprise that keeps collectors searching through rolls, collections, and old dhukhira, hoping to uncover something that others have overlooked. In a broader sense, the 1945 Jefferson nickel represents the perfect intersection of history, scarcity, and human craftsmanship. Its wartime composition, its connection to a moment in global history, and the wide range of surviving conditions all contribute to its lasting appeal. For some, it is simply a relic of everyday commerce during a difficult era, but for others, it is a puzzle waiting to be solved, one where small details can unlock significant value. Even a modest example with scratches and toning can carry a story that stretches back decades, reminding us that in the world of coin collecting, true worth is often hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be revealed through knowledge, patience, and a keen eye.